So kind of sum up that number, the total compensation will be around. Hey folks, this is Young from Career School. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel as I talk about career development and getting an MBA here in the US. How much do you make at Amazon? Whenever I tell my friends or my family that I work for Amazon, a lot of the times questions I get is, around the compensation or the stock. Some of my family members ask about, do you guys have any, stock options or anything very similar to that? Because obviously the stock market has been going off the roof due to COVID and everything. So a lot of the people are interested in what's going on, right? So I thought today it would be really interesting if I can share a little bit about the compensation structure and an example of what the compensation would look like if you were to join Amazon. This is based on my experience and my research I have done. So the data I collected is from my friends, from Google, all obviously going to be reflecting a lot of the stock market because a lot of our compensation is actually based on the stock prices of Amazon stock. So let's get right into the details. So one thing is for sure, I've been working in companies before, and a lot of times, all the times I was getting just the base salary and the bonus. And a lot of times I didn't even really get bonus, especially when I was working at my first company, Pantech, but that was just about it. There was no compensation around, working hard or just nothing that kind of financially encourages me or incentivizes people to work harder, if that makes sense. But that's the difference here in the tech industry in the US. And I think Amazon really takes good care of their employees by granting stock units to their employees to kind of incentivize them to work hard. And obviously, the stock prices have been always, looking pretty good in the stock market. So it has been kind of paying off for everyone. I'm about to explain the compensation structure and just give you an example of how much that will actually look like based on someone who would join newly to Amazon as an L6 non-technical role. When you first join the company, you will probably get offered for 4-year compensation. In this offer, you will probably have numbers in base salary, stock units, which we call the restricted stock units, RSUs for short, and the sign-on bonus. Let me explain how this actually works. So the base salary actually just means base salary. You get a amount of base salary and you just divide that to 12 and there you go. That's how much you earn every month. And then there's RSU, which is basically the stock option or restricted stock units as we call. And it's kind of complicated here because Amazon does not distribute restricted stock units evenly throughout the 4 years time you work at Amazon. After your first 1 year, you will get 5% of what you were, promised. And then after second year, you will get 15%. And then third year, you will get 40%. And then the fourth year, you will get the 40% as well. So that's how it is distributed. So you will notice that there is a huge gap in the first and the second year of your time at Amazon because you're essentially getting just 5% plus the 15% for your first and the second year of time in Amazon, right? So that's when the sign-on bonus actually kicks in. So the sign-on bonus essentially just means cash type of bonus or sign-on bonus that you get to kind of, work on that gap between the third and fourth year versus the first and second year. Usually it's about the approximate amount for your gap between the difference in compensation for the first, second year versus the third, fourth year. And most of the times I've found that you will get paid by dividing it by 12. So for example, if you are getting $40,000 in the first year for sign-on bonus, you'll just have to divide that to 12. And then that will be your sign-on bonus for your first year per each month. It might be simple, but I thought it would actually help if I can share you how it works using a PowerPoint slide, right? That would be super cool. So I created a slide to give you a better understanding of what the compensation would look like for the first 4 years once you join Amazon. One note that I want to make is that I have not factored in any type of base salary increase in this chart. So it will just be a glimpse of what it might look like once you do join Amazon as a level 6 non-technical anyone, but let's say marketing or someone, right? So yeah, let's look into it. I based this calculation based on someone who was joining Amazon on July 1st, 2019, because that's when a lot of my friends actually joined Amazon right after graduating from their MBAs, right? So you can see that there is a base salary. I just made up a number, $120,000. I searched in Google and everything. So I think it's around pretty good ballpark. And just one thing, this is based on the compensation of people who getting in Seattle as well. So if you're in another region or if you're in another country, it might be slightly different. So base salary, it's pretty simple. If it's $120,000 for 4 years, it's $120,000, and you'll get 12 of that every month. And then, as I explained, it comes in the RSUs. So let's say your stock units values when you first joined, based on the stock price of July 1st, is $100,000. Let's just say, I'm just making it up, but it's 5% for the first year. And the second year, it's going to be $15,000 with 15%. And the third year, it's going to be $40,000 with 40%. And same with the fourth year as well. And then you can probably see the gap here between third and fourth year versus the first and second year. So that gap is here. There is the sign-on bonus, right? So the first sign-on bonus, the first year, again, I'm making these numbers up, is $50,000. And then the second year is going to be $40,000. And then third and fourth year, you don't really have sign-on bonuses. So kind of sum up that number, the total compensation will be around $175,000 for the first 2 years, and then $160,000 for the third and fourth year. But young, you are not getting any raises in your salary after the second or third year at working at Amazon, which is true. But I kind of mentioned that I'm not really factoring in all the salary increase here. But as I said, Amazon's compensation really depends on how much the stock prices are at, or how much the stock price is of Amazon stock. So I also did a calculation based on February 26, 2021 Amazon stock price. So just to give you a calculation here, there was a 61% increase in the stock price compared to where we started in July 1st, right? So let's get into it. So salary, base salary, the same, $120,000 throughout the 4 year. And then there's the difference here, which is the stock prices, because there's a difference here in RSUs because the stock price has gone up really, really much. So 5% now is $8,000. 15% is $24,000. And then 40% is obviously going to be a huge amount, $64,000. And then obviously you have the sign-on bonus for the first and then the second year. Now you see the total compensation is actually higher than when you first joined because of that stock price increase, right? So I wouldn't say it's luck or something, but it kind of depends on when you join the company as well. Because, for example, if you joined Amazon when the stock price was, let's say, $3,300 or something like that, and it has not really increased a lot since then, obviously you'll probably need to wait a little bit more so that it kind of goes up again. But yeah, like for people, let's say, who have joined Amazon when the stock price was like $500, they're probably like millionaires at this point, right? Because of the stock price increase. Incentivizing the employees with stock, I think it's really trying to give the employees more ownership over what they're working on and kind of incentivize people to stay longer, because obviously the 5% and 15%, it's not a lot at the beginning, but the value keeps on growing at the third and fourth year. Giving good employees a motivation to stay longer, I think it's the whole intention behind all this structure. I hope this kind of makes sense. I thought it would be a fun episode of, just how much Amazonians make and stuff like that, because I looked into some YouTube channels and really didn't find anything that useful. So hope you like this video. If you do, please subscribe to this channel and also like this video. Really helps me create more content like this. And thank you so much, and stay tuned for more videos like this. Thank you.